Hello mga kananay! Kumusta po kayo? Namiss ko kayong lahat. Namiss namin kayong lahat. Sa episode po na ito, pag-uusapan natin kung bakit namin pinili ang Canada. Why Canada? And why did we choose Canada among all other options? So samahan niyo po ako, have a sit-down talk with me, and enjoy today's vlog. So, yun na nga mga kanani. Today, mag-uusap lang tayo dito and I will discuss with you what made us decide into coming to Canada! So, ayun mga kanani, why did we choose Canada of all the other countries that also offer the same kind of immigration or similar, but not really the same, but would have similar immigration policies? Why exactly do we choose Canada? So, I will discuss with you 5 major reasons in this vlog that might make you consider as well coming to Canada. So reason number 1, Canada is actually a safe place to live. So Canada has actually been ranked to be a safe and stable country to live in. And at the same time, the best part about Canada is it's not just safe and stable for immigrants or for families who are wanting to start a new chapter of their lives here in Canada, but at the same time, it's an open and welcoming country, which is really rare because there's always this sense of like when you're an immigrant, oh, I don't belong, I'm gonna have a hard time, you know, finding myself here or my footing. But that is not the case here in Canada because I can attest to that people, yes, and Hardin as well, that people are really kind and, you know, polite and respectful to everyone. Reason number 2. 4 seasons. I know it sounds really funny. I know it does. But we come from a country where the seasons are basically sunshine, rain, 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 typhoon, and then sunshine again. So we come from the Philippines, so it's really tropical out there. Not that we don't miss it and not that we don't like it. We love it and we live for it. But when we were thinking about what country to go to, we really considered wanting to have a full-blown experience of the 4 seasons. We're very vocal about saying that we really love fall, really love autumn. We love the colors, we love, you know, the vibe. We love how there's just like a really good amount of cold. And another reason is because we grew up in the tropics. We want to see snow. I mean, who is not curious about seeing and wanting to play in snow? I know a lot of people are probably gonna write in the comment section, oh, because you've never waddled in like, you know, knee-deep snow, or you're never really shoved snow out of your, you know, garage or out of your driveway. Trust me, been there, done that. First week into Canada, I went to deliver, what was that, newspapers with my husband's cousin. And the first thing that happened to me, black eyes. Totally. My bum up in the air, fell flat. My head all on the floor. And I thought for a while I'm gonna have concussion. But that never stopped me from wanting to experience snow and wanting to actually like really experience a good winter. And yes, we have been greeted in the almost 5 years that we've been here in Canada. We have experienced all sorts of highs and lows in wintertime. We have had green Christmases, we have had white Christmases, we have had Christmases where I can wear like, you know, short dresses, and we have Christmases where I had to actually double dress myself just because, like, you know, it's really, really cold. And yeah, does it, you know, take away the fact that it's really difficult to travel around during winter? No, I have been in situations where it's like -30 and I'm waiting for a bus that wouldn't come or got stuck in a snowstorm. I understand that. But then again, we never had that. So I guess for a new immigrant, that's like something new. That's something that fascinates me so much. And as a matter of fact, we actually have a winter baby. Our son was born in winter and he does enjoy a little bit of the cold air. And just to close this number 2 reason, I just want to warn you though, when you're moving to Canada, seasonal depression or seasonal blues, as they call it, is really prevalent. It's super common. I actually have seasonal blues. Mine comes in spring. I just don't like the rain. I don't like the mucky feeling when you go outside, that everything, the ground is squishy, the ice is starting to melt. I'm not a very huge fan of that, but either way, I love spring blossoms, so that would cure it. You just have to find ways on how to entertain yourself during seasons where it's very difficult to go out, because that's gonna be a real challenge. Reason number 3, economic opportunities. So why is it actually that we leave the country that is so beautiful with 7,700 islands and amazing beaches? Economic opportunity. I have to be very honest, that's really on top of our list on why, Hero and I decided to actually leave the country. It's just because we felt that if we stayed, had we stayed, we will be the wall when it comes to our careers. As they always say, the grass is greener on the other side. And this, I can tell you, the grass is indeed greener on this side for a bit, okay? And I say that because for our profession, for the field where we are actually working at, Hero in the restaurant industry, I'm in the legal field, there's actually like a blooming career here where we're at. We're actually located in Ottawa, Ontario. There's a blooming field for that. There's just like so many things that present itself. Canada has actually been ranked as one of the most vibrant and efficient countries in the, in the labor market. And as a matter of fact, fun fact, 75%, according to StatsCan, of Canadians are actually in public service. So what does that tell you? There's jobs for everyone. Yes, for sure, there's unemployment. Yes, for sure, sometimes there is a problem with, matching your experience with a job that is available. But then again, there is a trick to, surpass that, or there is a trick to always find the right job for your skills. One of the major things that we have learned when we got here is to always put yourself out. That is so true. Don't be choosy of the first work that you are going to take. But here's also what I'm going to tell you. Don't settle. There's always a way to find the right job for yourself. You just have to look at the right places. And what am I trying to say there? Use job engines like the Job Bank, use Indeed, use career websites that actually offer you jobs that might resonate to the skill that you already have. Pro tip over here, and I just want to talk a little more about this one when it comes to looking for the right job for yourself. When you're making your resume, always tailor your resume in such a way that it actually shows the skills that you want, for the employer to see for that particular job. Like, for example, that you have skills for administration. So tailor a resume that will talk more and highlight more about your skills with administration that you have, gotten through the years. And if you're also, let's say, a good cook and you have restaurant experience, tailor a resume that will also talk about that. The reason why I'm finding that it's a common issue for people to find a job that resonates with their skill is because they tailor a very general approach with their resume. So the trick here in Canada is you have to tailor your resume based on the kind of job that you actually want to go for. So just a really funny example. When we arrived here, the first job application that I actually went to was Payless Shoe Center. So for all those who know me, you actually kind of know now why I went to the Payless Shoe Center as my first job destination. Of course, because I wanted to get discounts for shoes because I love shoes. But outrightly, when they saw my resume, which was super different, I was putting there my administration background, I was putting there my teaching background, it just didn't fit. And the manager was just outrightly and politely just told me, yeah, we'll call you back, which basically means you're not getting the job. And that's what I learned first thing when I got here to Canada. That's 2 weeks in when we arrived here in 2017. I ended up doing as my first job, I got a teaching job. I taught English as a second language, and my students were actually government employees who speak French and need to improve on their English and need to pass their English exams. And you would always say like, oh, that's crazy. How did you get to do that? Simple. I found jobs that were related to my skills, and I actually like chanced up on this job very differently because I wanted to enroll in a French class. And you know, the manager, hi Kara, found out that I actually taught before in the Philippines, and she asked me if I wanted a job. But then again, I also got invitations from other places because I tailored fit a resume that talks about my teaching experience and my skills. So, what's really the takeaway here? Tailor a resume that shows and highlights particular skills. And when you're looking for a job, look for those jobs in job websites that are particularly relating to your skills. Reason number 4, free healthcare and free education from grades 1 to 10. So who doesn't want that? Who doesn't like the idea of having free healthcare and free education? So that is actually what you get for your taxpayers' money here in Canada. And I will tell you something about our situation here in Ontario. So there's what we call OHIP, or the Ontario Health Card that we use. And that's a universal healthcare system here in Ontario that basically covers every single healthcare needs of everyone who's actually a card holder. Story time. When I was pregnant with Hardin last year, you know, when mommy was pregnant with Bob, all I needed to do was actually just walk into our family doctor's office, get prescription, go out, and everything was paid for. I never had to think about, oh my God, I can't go to the doctor today because I don't have money for a consultation fee. Or I can't go to the doctor today because you know what, guess what? My paycheck hasn't come in yet, and probably she's gonna give me a prescription of 100 things and I can't afford it. Not once did I have to think about that one because everything is paid for and everything is free because I am an OHIP card holder. It's the same situation with my OB-GYN or my obstetrician gynecologist. It's the same thing. All my tests were free. All I had to do was actually go in, have an appointment, and I can have my sonogram, I can have all those things, and it's all, paid for. And probably the best thing that's ever happened to us was actually when I gave birth to Hardin in December of last year. So you can just imagine, when you're a first-time mom, and probably, you're thinking about like 100 things going on for yourself. The last thing that you would want to think about is, oh my God, where am I going to get the money for, my anesthesiologist? Should I be undergoing a cesarean section? Or should I be paying for accommodation? Or should I be paying for, my doctor, my hospital bills, etc., everything like that. And, when I went to my OB during my 7th month of pregnancy, they actually instructed me to already pre-check in. So I actually did that already. Yeah, Bob, I pre-checked in for you. And actually informed them that I'm due to deliver in December. I was supposedly due December 17th, but I delivered on December 7th. And all I literally needed to do was call the hospital and tell them that I was in labor, and they would give me instructions like, yeah, okay, you can come in now, we'll meet you on this floor, la 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 la, see you at the triage. So literally, we went in, we booked our private room. I don't know how, still up to this day, how we got that private room, because for all we know, it was already fully booked at that time, plus it's December, so and there was still COVID restrictions at that time, but we did get a private room for ourselves, and we were so happy, and all we needed to do was just sit there, stay comfy. When I was in so much pain during, my labor, literally the doctor was just saying, all you had to do, Danielle, is just say you need help, and we will get the anesthesiologist in, and you will get the epidural that you need so that you can come down and you can rest. And I'm just thinking to myself, Hero and I, after, an hour after we moved into our recovery room or our private room. Yes, Bub, that we were talking about you. After we moved to the recovery room, all we could think of was, thank you, Lord, for giving us this kind of peace of mind. Because we were just thinking, if this actually happened to us back home, yes, for sure, we would have, prepared for it. There will be 9 months where we'll be saving money. We will do our best to find all these. But at the same time, we would be thinking about, oh, bless you! We would be thinking about all these things coming together and how expensive it is actually to have all these come together in one event, which is like giving birth. And now let's go to education. So as I have mentioned, there's, the schools here are practically for free, unless you want to put your child in a private institution, then you have to pay for that one. But there's actually free tuition, taxpayers pay for it, from grade 1 to grade 10. Now, what am I trying to tell you about that one? When a child is born here in Canada, you are going to be instructed of a bunch of things that you need to do. And one of the things there that you need to do is actually open an RESP account for your child. I'm going to put in the meaning of it because at the top of my head right now, I can't remember what it really stands for. But it's basically money that you put aside for your child's education when he goes to the university or he goes to college. So you actually have 10, 18 years until he's 18 years old or 19 years old to save. Are you not happy? Are you not happy about your savings? To actually save for that fund so that your son will not have to think futuristically that he will not go to school because he doesn't have the money to afford university. Isn't that wonderful? We're actually being taught about responsible parenting. So we really appreciate that. Yes, Bub, you're gonna have money for your university. So we are not going to problematize that because all he has to do is actually just like enroll himself, find a district that will take him where you live. Because that's how it works here. You have to go to school at the district where you live, and then voila, problem solved. He goes to school, he gets his education. And the last reason why we chose Canada is, of course, cultural diversity. What else? As an immigrant, the first thing that comes to mind if you go to like a foreign country or if you're new to a foreign country, first thing that you should be asking yourself is, will I be safe here or will I be discriminated? Personally and thankfully, we are, very happy that in our almost 5 years of stay here in Canada, we have not experienced, racial discrimination or, being discriminated in whatever way, directly, of course, when it comes to like our roots as Asians or as Filipinos. Matter of fact, Canada has a very progressive attitude when it comes to immigration. They welcome immigrants with like open arms. They try to offer you every single thing on their table, literally and figuratively, just to make everyone feel like they belong. Because, we all come from different backgrounds on why we're migrating here in Canada. Some people have a choice of coming here. Some people don't have a choice to come here in Canada. And, that alone in itself make Canadians very conscious about these things, and they want to be as polite, as understanding, as welcoming as they can to immigrants here in Canada. And according to the very recent census, it's actually, I just found out about this from Kara the other day, that it's actually illegal not to answer census. So you need to answer census, guys, if you get that message, asking you to answer census. So going back to that, it has been found that 25 to 30% of those who answered the census in the past few years or in the recent years are actually immigrants. How cool is that? It just speaks volumes of how many people are actually here in Canada and how culturally diverse we are. And as a matter of fact, I feel that there's always this, Canadians have put forth this kind of culture where like we're not gonna judge you for who you are, regardless of your race, regardless of your identity. We're not gonna judge you for who you are. We're gonna listen to you. We're gonna try to make it all accessible to you. Be yourself and do your best. And actually, you know what? As someone who has always felt like I never belonged in a certain place, that really speaks volumes to me. And that really gives me this assurance that I'm in a safe place. And at the same time, what would be, you know, the instant reaction of a person who feels like he or she is in a safe place? Well, number one, she's more productive. For sure, she's gonna think of like ways on how to give back to that generosity of people being, you know, so accepting and so polite and so kind. And also, because she's so productive, she also, I on my own, I always want to have like this positive attitude that I share with everyone because everybody's just so kind. It actually is a cycle. You give out a positive vibe comes back to you. And it's also because of cultural diversity that we kind of don't miss home that much. Well, except for the fact that my mom actually calls and texts every single day, which really like, you know, makes us not miss home so much. But also because we see a lot of our kababayans over here. Hero has cousins here. We have family here, regardless of how small we are in number. But we have people who are familiar. You have Filipino stores over here. So it kind of like bridges the whole, like we miss home, but we're in a new home. So it kind of like makes everything bearable. You just have to make do, right? So those are the 5 main reasons, guys, why we actually chose Canada. I might have not discussed it as thoroughly as I would have imagined it in my head, but at least it gives you an idea of why we actually chose Canada for a country of destination. And of course, maybe it will also make you think when you're choosing a country to migrate to, you know, have these things in mind. Like, you know, am I gonna fit in culturally, values-wise? You know, am I gonna fit in there? What is the environment like? You know, what are the seasons like? Like, you know, am I gonna survive the cold? Am I gonna survive the heat? And of course, you have to think about, you know, are the jobs gonna match the skills that I have, or, you know, my background whatsoever? And you would want to check out, you know, as a family, or if I'm starting up a family, or I'm with family, what will be the benefits of moving into that particular place gonna bring to my family? So those are the things that are, I believe, are first and foremost to be considered when you're migrating. I really hope, guys, this video helped you. Comment if you have more questions, or, you know, if you have questions relating to this topic in this video. I hope you would consider coming to Canada. And if you do, see you over here. Yes! Bye, guys! Bye, mga kananay! See you in our next vlog!